Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new. We are back with another movie reaction. This one is Blade Runner 2049. We recently watched the first Blade Runner from 1982, I believe, and it was so good, but I was also like baffled the whole time. There were so many elements of it that I was confused or just like left flabbergasted by, like some of the acting decisions and things like that. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. I'm fairly confident that Deckard is a replicant. I'm curious if this movie touches on that at all because Deckard is in this one. It takes place 30 years later, so maybe that means he isn't a replicant because the lifespan of replicants, at least in the first one, was only 4 years, unless he's like a special replicant. That, I don't know. There's lots of possibilities. Either way, I'm excited to jump into it. So before we do that, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the film and you can watch along with me. But other than that, let's jump into Blade Runner 2049. Replicants are bioengineered humans designed by the Tyrell Corporation for use off-world. Their enhanced strength made them ideal slave labor. After a series of violent rebellions, their manufacture became prohibited and Tyrell Corp went bankrupt. The collapse of ecosystems in the mid-2020s led to the rise of industrialist Neander Wallace, whose mastery of synthetic farming averted famine. Wallace acquired the remains of the Tyrell Corp and created a new line of replicants who obey. Many older model replicants, Nexus 8s, with open-ended lifespans survived. They are hunted down and retired. Those that hunt them still go by the name Blade Runner. So maybe Deckard wasn't a Nexus 8 because they have open-ended lifespans. Same opening as last time, focusing on the eyeball. California 2049. Fun. Whoever lives here is still home. Dave Bautista. Is Dave Bautista a replicant? Okay.
I hope you don't mind me taking the liberty.
You police?
Are you Sapper Morton? Civic number NK68514.
I'm a farmer.
I saw that.
So the answer is yes.
But you haven't always been a farmer, have you? Your bag. It's colonial medical use. Military issue. If taking you in is an option, I would much prefer that to the alternative. If you could just look up and to the left, please.
Oh, he's gonna put him through the wall. Damn! How are you still functioning? Unless he's also a replicant. work.
How's it feel? Killing your own kind.
He is a replicant. Okay.
I don't retire my own kind because we don't run. Only older models do.
You new models are happy scraping the shit. Because you've never seen a miracle.
Interesting. Damn, that's a heavy body.
You're hurt.
Hey.
I'm not paying for that.
I'll glue it.
And?
Got the
tail end
got the
Nexus
guy.
8s. He looks like he could take your head off.
He tried. One moment, man.
He's gonna go get some of that garlic. It's a flower. That looks like kinda freshly dug dirt.
$30 meters to maximum depth.
What is that? I'll send a dig team. Come on home before the storm.
He's gonna dig that up himself. I'm curious what that is, though. Is it a person? Like, as a person in that box? Because he put a flower on top of it? Is that the miracle he saw?
Cells.
Cells.
Have you ever been in an institution? Cells.
Post-traumatic baseline test.
When you're not performing your duties, do they keep you in a little box? Cells.
Cells.
Interlinked.
Interlinked.
What's it like to hold the hand of someone you love? Interlinked. Do you long for having your heart interlinked?
Interesting question.
Within cells interlinked.
We're done.
What the heck?
Constant K. You can pick up your bonus.
Constant K, like he never
Thank you,
changes?
sir.
But this film he's gonna change.
Okay? I didn't hear you. You're early.
You want
Joy.
me to come back?
Isn't that
How was your meeting?
what the advertisement was for?
The usual. How was your day? I had an accident at work. I think I ruined my shirt.
I'm sure I can fix that for you. Let me take a look at it.
Sounds like Anna de Armas.
I need a
I
drink.
think she's in this movie.
You want a drink first?
Mm-hmm. Pour me one, will ya?
I told you not to fuss.
And yet,
It is Anna de Armas.
voila. Bon appetit.
Okay, so he's gonna pretend that he's eating steak,
I missed you, baby sweet.
but he's really eating clear
Honey,
worms.
It's beautiful.
God, she's so attractive.
How's the day?
It was a day.
What is that?
Happy anniversary.
An emanator.
What's that mean? What's an emanator? Is this like
Thank you.
she's not in the ceiling anymore?
Where do you want to go first?
Soon as I...
Does it have to be within range of that little stick, or can she really go anywhere? How real is she? Like, how much of a consciousness does she have? How much does he have? How much will they have by the end? Those are my big questions right now. What happened?
The dig's come through. We have a new lead. Get down here.
Oh. Sad. Okay, yeah, that's a person. I figured it would probably be a person since he was putting flowers on it.
A box of bombs. Nothing else in it but hair. The soil samples indicate that she's been buried for 30 years.
No breaks, no sign of trauma, except fracture through the ilium. It's a narrow birth canal. Baby must have got stuck.
She was pregnant.
Oh.
She died in childbirth.
Is this that's the miracle he saw? Is a baby.
That looks like an emergency C-section. The cuts are clean. No sign of a struggle.
So the baby
He was
lived.
a combat medic. Maybe he tried to save her and he just couldn't.
It didn't seem like the saving type.
Went to
Maybe he
the trouble
saved
of
the
burying
baby
her.
though.
A sentimental skin job. Sorry.
So where's the kid? You scanned the whole field.
Just dirt and worms. No other bodies.
Maybe he ate it.
What? Why would he eat the child? What a weird opinion to have. Was the mother a replicant as well?
That's not possible. She was a replicant.
Okay. 2 replicants had a child.
The world is built on a wall that separates kind. Tell either side there's no wall, you bought a war. Or a slaughter.
Yeah, if you tell replicants that they can get pregnant and have
So what
children,
you saw
that's gonna introduce a lot of conflict.
Didn't happen. Erase everything.
Even the child.
All trace. You have anything more to say?
I've never retired something that was born before.
What's the difference?
Feels more like a real human.
To be born is to have a soul, I guess.
Are you telling me no?
I wasn't aware that was an option, man.
Attaboy. Hey, you've been getting on fine without one.
What's that, madam?
Partner?
A soul.
Oh. Well, I thought she was gonna assign him a partner. I think he has a soul, or will develop one by the end of the movie. Wallace Corporation, Earth headquarters. Pan Am. That's in Cyberpunk. It's a character.
Another prodigal serial number returned. The 30-year-old open case finally closed. Thank you, officer.
They don't want to give him any more info.
The outer colonies would never have flourished had he not bought Tyrell, revivified the technology. To say the least of what we do.
Dang. That kind of looks like Dave Bautista. That model. Like a younger, skinnier Dave Bautista.
No one's been down here in ages. Sorry about that.
Must be pretty strong to open that door.
goes to his butterfly collection. Not a stick kill jar. I take him to the doctor. There's a wasp crawling on your arm.
I'd kill it.
This is Rachel's tape?
Is this testing whether I'm a replicant or a lesbian, Mr. Deckard?
Just answer the question, please.
So did Deckard and Rachel have a
It was
kid?
unclear what she was. At least to someone. This was a test. We were difficult to spot then.
You worked with Officer Deckard back in the day. What can you tell me about him?
He liked to work alone.
Hey,
So did I.
Mr. Origami Man.
He wasn't long for this world.
Also,
Something in his eyes.
He was a replicant.
any idea how I could contact him?
I feel like that's confirmation, right?
Retired.
What happened?
Proudly got what he wanted. To be alone.
I feel like that had to have been confirmation right there. He was not long for this world because there was something in his eyes. And one of the key ways to see that someone was a replicant last movie was the glow of their eyes.
Well, let us see her then.
What's up with his eyes? Is he a replicant?
It's fascinating. Before we even know what we are, we fear to lose it.
Is he a replicant or is he blind? Probably blind.
We make angels in the service of civilization. Every leap of civilization was built off the back of a disposable workforce. We lost our stomach for slaves.
That's horrible, but true. History has typically used disposable workforces, unfortunately.
The dead space between the stars.
This guy's so creepy.
We must change forever.
Why?
I cannot breed them. So help me, I have tried. We need more replicants than can ever be assembled. Millions, so we can be trillions more. We could storm Eden and retake her.
What the frick, dude? So he wants to make replicants that he can
Tyrell's
breed?
final trick. Procreation. Perfected, then lost. But there is a child. Bring it to me.
Sir.
Yeah, so he wants to make replicants that can procreate. Because we need a whole bunch more to reach the stars.
Hi. Hello, hello, A-boy. You alone?
Mä jatkan Blade Runner. Mitä se on? Mennään, se on vitu vaan.
It's okay. It's fine.
I recognize this girl with the jacket on.
You're not gonna kill me, are you?
Depends. What's your model number?
Why don't you look under my eye and find out? Oh. You don't like real girls.
Are you real, though?
Well, I'm always here.
Did he get a message, or was his hologram girlfriend making a noise so that he stops talking to that girl? Press that key. Secret doorway. What is that? Is that a sock? Doesn't look like Rachel. Interesting. What happened on that date? He remembers something. Something in 2021.
Hi.
Hello.
You can't take those.
Of course not. Proper channels and paperwork. It's all here. All this for me?
She's gonna kill you real quick.
Here you go.
Damn.
Coco is dead.
She
Bones
said
are gone.
fist to the back of the head.
Am I the only one that can see the fucking sunrise here? This breaks the world, Kay.
It does. It's already breaking him.
Do you remember anything before you were under me? You have any memories from before?
I had memories, but they're not real. They're just implants.
Tell me one.
He's holding
When you were
a
a
wooden
kid.
horse, you know, in front of a blazing fire. Wonder whose memory this actually is. Does he throw it in the fire so they can't take it?
I go looking for a place to hide it, and the only place is this dark furnace. It's very dark, and I'm very scared, but this horse is all I have, so I go in anyway. Later on, those kids find me, and they beat me to tell them where it is, but I don't.
Why are they all bald?
That's it.
Little Kay fighting for what's his. It's a good one.
Maybe it was a real memory. That's crazy.
Mere data makes a man. He didn't like her enough to tell her the truth. 6, 10, and 21.
There's nothing to tell.
How many times have you told me that story?
Is that the day he was born?
Your memory. The date carved beneath. 6, 10, and 21.
That's why he remembered the horse.
Coincidence?
It's a real memory. Is that his incept date?
A dangerous coincidence.
I always knew you were special.
Are they trying to insinuate that he is the child
I'd be hunted for the rest of my life
that was
for
born?
someone just like me. A boy and a girl. It's impossible.
Twins.
Two people can't have identical DNA.
Interesting.
One of these isn't real. It's a copy. It says the girl died there. Genetic disorder. Galatian syndrome.
What is
boy.
Galatian syndrome?
Disappears.
Where's the orphanage?
You wanna go for a ride?
I mean, Galatians has to do with the Bible.
Buckle up.
Oh, I thought we were crashing for some reason. Why are they doing this?
Okay.
You're gonna crash. Why? Who doesn't want him to be here? Oh! You just broke that man's spine.
Stay back.
It's Blade Runner, yes. What is happening?
Fire again. Fire again.
Why are they trying to kill everyone here? Are they trying to kill him? Or were they protecting him? Because he's leading them to the child?
Get up. Do your fucking job.
Okay, protecting him. You're the one that dropped a mortar strike right next to him. Bunch of bald children. This is where you came from.
You're in here to work. And if you're not working, I don't need you. I don't need any of...
Is that Forrest Whitaker?
But it's
They're
work.
just taking apart old
It's
machines.
work that molds them into a child worth having.
If you weren't here, he'd kill that kid.
I'm not buying. A little boy came through here about 30 years back.
He's
I
not
didn't
gonna
see
remember that.
records.
Sorry. Can't help you.
You can't?
Nope.
Or you won't.
I think someone like you keeps a long memory. Now you can tell me what you remember, or I can put a hole right here and take a look.
Okay, yeah, well then we'll get those records. This is where his memory's from.
What did you say? What did you say?
He's from here. He's a natural born replicant, I'm calling it. And his horse is down there, hidden.
It's gone.
Someone tore out the page.
It's the entire year. I didn't do that.
I don't know why I thought that was Forrest Whitaker at first. It's definitely not him. Each of these Blade Runners we follow, from the first movie and this movie, they're both like the chosen one. Okay, so he's a natural born replicant who found his way here somehow, but then found his way working for the LAPD. I'm getting chills. This is crazy. Welcome home. Bro, I would be freaking out.
I always told you. You're special.
How did you know he was special?
A real boy needs a real name. Joe.
Joe?
Nah.
Too important for Kay. Your mother would have named you.
Agent K is from Men in Black.
Joe. Joe.
Stop.
How do I know if a memory is an implant or not? Dr. Anastasia?
A visitor.
Damn.
Nice to meet you, Officer KD 6-3.7.
Call me Joe.
Sorry. It's a compromised immune system. A life of freedom, so long as it's behind glass.
Are you the girl replicant?
What can I help you with?
Thought you might be able to help me with the case. They say you're the best memory maker there is.
Well, then they're kind. I love birthday parties.
Interesting.
You work for Wallace?
Subcontract. I'm one of his suppliers.
What makes your memories so authentic?
Because
Well,
they're hers.
There's a bit of every artist in their work.
Are they all constructed, or do you ever use ones that are real?
It's illegal to use real memories, officer.
Doesn't mean you don't do it. A whole lot of facial acting going on between these two. Damn.
Someone lived this, yes. This happened.
You're a real boy.
I know it's real.
Damn. His whole life being upended.
Officer KD6-3.7, Madam is calling you in. You're under arrest. Drop your gun and keep your hands where I can see them.
What's it like to hold the hand of someone you love interlinked?
Interlinked.
Within cells interlinked.
Within cells interlinked.
Dreadfully.
Dreadfully.
Anomaly. He hesitated.
A tall white fountain played.
You're not even close to baseline.
The responses are off.
What the fuck is with you? I put you on a case. I impressed on you the importance of that case, and then we pick you up fucking around outside an upgrade center? Scans said you didn't look like you on the inside, miles off your baseline. Do you know what that means?
I found the kid. He was set up like a standard replicant, put on a service job. Even he didn't know who he was.
And?
And it's done.
What does that mean, it's done?
What you asked. It's done.
He was set up on a service job.
I can help you get out of the station alive, but you have 48 hours to get back on track. Surrender your gun and badge, And your next baseline test is out of my hands.
Thank you, madam.
I'm gonna hunt you down, brother. Unless you can find something. How the heck did you walk in? You weren't invited.
Thought you weren't interested. Worky man.
Unless you were invited, maybe.
You liked her, I could tell.
She invited her.
I want to be real for you.
You are real for me.
You're a special lady here.
What's happening?
Okay. Let's do it.
We gonna hook up? But she's gonna... What is she gonna do?
Look at you.
That's crazy. This is such a trippy... Like, did they film this with both women? Or is some of it CGI generated? Yeah, we knew this was an advertisement. Interesting. You had that in your mouth the whole time?
I'm done with you. You can go now.
Quiet now. I've been inside you. Not so much there as you think.
Damn. A little bit of a claws came out there.
You have to delete me from the console. My present. Put me there.
If anything happens to this, that's it. You're gone.
Yes.
It's as real as it gets. Yeah.
I want this.
So,
But I can
how
do
much?
it myself.
How much of this is like her programming as like the bot that she is, and how much of this is her actually becoming like a sentient individual? Because the advertisement is she'll be whatever you want her to be. But if he wants her to be a real girl, like, will that be what that becomes? Or, I don't know. Or is she actually becoming real? It's very interesting that, like, seemingly the Wallace Corporation doesn't even know that he's the one they're looking for.
Heat analysis.
Someone's there.
Where is he? You're too late. It's gone. He destroyed it. Everything about it. Well, except for the box of bones that you already took.
Yeah. How?
You tiny thing. In the face of the fabulous new, your only thought is to kill it? For fear of great change? You can't hold the tide with a broom.
Except that I did.
Where is he? I will find him!
I'm gonna tell Mr. Wallace you tried to shoot me first. So
That's
I
a
had
lie.
to kill you.
And do what you gotta do.
Damn. Why is she so dedicated? She really wants to please that guy. Jesus. Las Vegas. That is a visual right there. What the heck? Go that direction. Follow the bee. Don't put your hand in there. A dog. Is that a real dog or a robot dog?
I didn't happen to have a piece of cheese about you now. Would you, boy?
I knew he was in
That's
this
right.
movie. I just didn't know when he would appear. The old gun.
What are you doing here?
Just trying to find out who he is.
I heard the piano.
Don't lie. It's rude.
I just have some questions.
What questions?
Questions like, who am I? I think he's deducing that he's a replicant. System is glitchy. God, he is good.
I don't want to hurt you, but you're not making it easy.
He wants to know why you're here. He's like, Come on, man. Stop. Can we talk now?
I like this song.
My hand, my whole life.
We could keep it this, or we could get a drink.
I can't help falling in love with you.
I'll take the drink.
Give some whiskey to the dog?
Is it real?
I don't know. Ask him. What do you want, Joe?
I want to ask you some questions.
Like what?
Like, what am I?
Like, what was her name? The mother of your child.
Rachel.
I had your job. I was good at it.
It was simpler then.
Why are you making it complicated?
Why don't you just answer the question?
What question?
I didn't figure you as one for bullshit. What's her name?
Come on. Say it.
Rachel.
Now you know your mom's name.
What happened to the kid? Who put it in the orphanage? Was it you?
I was long gone by then.
You didn't even meet your own kid?
Well, congratulations.
Because that was the plan. I showed them how to scramble the records, cover their tracks. Everyone had a part. Mine was to leave. Then the blackout came, paved over everything. Couldn't have found the child if I tried.
Did you want to?
Not really.
Why not?
Because we were being hunted. I didn't want our child found, taken apart, dissected. Sometimes to love someone, you gotta be a stranger.
I wonder if he realizes who he is.
Make it one for my baby. One more for the road.
Tu madre. Tu mamá. Oh, but they're coming for you. You're gonna want to get out of here.
I came alone.
So did that hooker work for Wallace then? Just busts through the wall. Oh, they blew up his old car. Sad. Ugh.
Bad dog.
Be nice. Oh no, they're gonna break his stick. I can already tell. Oh no, she's gonna step on it. I can already tell.
I do hope you're satisfied with our product.
I love you.
You killed Joy. And then that dog just gets left there. Okay, so those people came after? Are they different people then?
You can trust us.
You must want me to look up and to the left.
Marsha? From Succession?
This is Fraser.
Were you with her? Rachel?
I held her as she died.
So those are
We hid the
Rachel's
child
bones.
and made a vow to keep our secret. That's why Sapper let you kill him. I knew that baby meant we are more than just slaves. If a baby can come from one of us, we are our own masters.
More human than humans.
A revolution is coming, and we're building an army. I want to free our people.
So everyone here's a replicant.
Dying for the right cause is the most human thing we can do.
Yeah?
Who led Wallace to Deckard?
On
You
accident.
cannot allow Deckard to lead Wallace to me. You must kill Deckard.
What? No. Screw that.
Deckard only wanted his baby to be safe. And she is.
Oh,
When
so
the time
he's
comes,
the
I will
copy
show her to
then.
the world, and she will lead our army.
She?
Of course.
He thought he was the child.
Rachel had a daughter.
I thought he was the child.
It was a boy that you hid.
That is just a piece of the puzzle.
So they made a copy? Or they pretended that there was a second child? I'm gonna have to watch an explainer video.
You imagined it was you. Oh, you did. You did.
Damn, okay, so not actually Deckard's child.
Someone lived this, yes.
A girl.
I showed them how to scramble the records, cover their tracks.
I dressed her in blue when it was time for her to go.
There's a bit of every artist in their work.
I knew it was her. Oh my god, I'm so smart. I knew that was her. That's why she was crying. Looking at the memory, because it was her memory. I'm a freaking genius. Like, I flippin' knew that she was a replicant.
Always jumping that one.
And I think I knew that she was the girl, but I thought there actually was twins.
I have wanted to meet you for so very long. I need the child. To teach them all to fly.
He's even got his own knockoff Rachel.
I'm Rachel.
Deckard.
Damn. Their first meeting.
All these years you looked back on that day, drunk on the memory of its perfection. How shiny her lips. How instant your connection. Did it never occur to you that's why you were summoned in the first place? Designed to do nothing short of fall for her right then and there. All to make that single, perfect specimen.
That would be a twist. What a twist.
That
Yeah.
is,
Oh
if
my god.
you were designed.
If he is a replicant.
Love. Or
made by
mathematical
Tyrell,
precision.
whose entire purpose was to fall in love with Rachel and create another replicant. What a twist.
Where did they go? I know you know something. Help me, and very, very good things can come to you.
All his good things are gone.
You think I have nothing to offer but pain? Only I know you love pain. Pain reminds you the joy you felt was real.
Pain
more joy than
makes you feel like you are real. Yo, you didn't.
an angel. Made again. For you.
Damn. Why would you do this to him? That is uncanny. Did they mask her face onto a different actor? Or is this actor just an uncanny mark for her?
Don't you love me?
You're not her. The real Rachel liked to wear her hair down.
Her eyes were green.
It didn't work. Bruh. That was unnecessary.
You do not know what pain is yet. You will learn.
You will know pain. Was this Naruto? The village hidden in the rain?
Hello, handsome.
Where's Nagato? Ah.
What a day, eh? You look lonely. I can fix that.
You were just killed.
You look like a good Joe.
Even the name Joe. Part of the programming.
Dying for the right cause is the most human thing we can do.
Shiny Eye Joe, ready to go. Let's get this shit done, boy.
Where are we going?
Home.
This girl's so angry because she knows she's a knockoff of the real Rachel. I mean, probably not technically, but basically. Oh, snap. Damn, Joe. Or I guess I'll just call you Kay. So they're outside the ocean wall right now? This ship's gonna be claimed by the water. Is he gonna die? I don't want him to die. Damn, she's like an expert. Jesus. Okay, this is not good. You gotta make this quick, Kay. Why?
I'm the best one.
The best replicant? I don't know about that one.
For all this waiting.
You are not the best one. Sorry, love. Time to go. It's interesting that he's saving him. Wasn't his directive to kill him?
Joe!
Good. I thought he was gonna die in the water.
You should have let me die out there.
You did. You drowned out there.
It's the official story.
You're free to meet your daughter now.
Is he gonna take him to meet his daughter? So she doesn't actually have a compromised immune system.
All the best memories are hers.
Why? What am I to you?
Well, he thought you were his father.
Go meet your daughter.
You okay?
I don't know if he's okay. I think he's gonna die while you're talking to your daughter. Oh yeah, he's gonna He's gonna collapse. I don't want him to die. Dying for the right cause. It's the most human thing you can do.
Just a moment. Beautiful, isn't it?
It's the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. She does kind of look like Rachel a little bit, now that I think about it. Oh my God. Okay, what a good movie. This was, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it touches on a lot of the same themes from the first one surrounding like personhood and humanity and like what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to like what's the significance of knowing you're human versus not knowing you're human? And does that, like, does the line between really matter? Like, there's a line that the sergeant, like the head cop, says in the movie where she's talking to Kay and she's like, you know, if, you know, there's a line between human and replicant. Like if we tear down that wall or no, I forgot exactly what she said, but she said something along the lines of like, if the two sides no longer believe that there is a distinction, like that's chaos, right? So if, you know, as long as replicants know that they are replicants and can't be any more than that, they will continue to be replicants. As long as humans know, like, you know, as long as humans have a way to identify replicants, they will continue to try and identify those replicants. But if you get rid of the distinction, if you allow replicants to believe that they could be more, right? To believe that they could be as human as other humans or even more human, right? That they could reproduce and reach that final stage of alivehood, I guess. Like if you can get to that level, and then the distinction stops mattering, right? There stops being this like classification, because if replicants can have kids, that means theoretically they can have kids with themselves, they can have kids with humanity. The intermixing of that is just like, it's unstoppable. And it could lead to positive things, right? It could lead to harmony and empathy amongst the two cultures, or it could lead to war. And it's very interesting to decipher like which route that would go, right? Like the cop definitely is like under the impression that it would lead to war. Wallace, the Wallace Corporation, they they're their own weird thing. Okay, let's recap the overall plot, right? So it's 2049, you know, quite a ways from the first film, and there are replicants that are still being hunted down. I think how many they said that like there had been a series of violent rebellions that have essentially caused all the Tyrell Corp replicants to be, you know, outlawed, to be hunted down. I think they made it to Nexus 8 was the classification of like how far they got. And yeah, they made it to Nexus 8, and then everything was like shut down. There was a blackout. A lot of like info got wiped at some point. And then Wallace, the Wallace Corporation or whatever, took over all the old patents and all these different things, and they started making replicants that will obey. They started making replicants that will obey and have, like, you know, uncapped lifespans. So whereas in the first film, most of the replicants had that, like, designed 4-year lifespan, the ones in this film do not. So, like, Kay, I think, is supposed to be, like, one of the newer ones that has that uncapped lifespan. And yeah, and so he's a Blade Runner, and he is tasked with hunting down the remnants, at least some of the remnants of the Tyrell Nexus 8s. And his interactions during that initial meeting with Dave Bautista's character is what kind of sets in motion the whole plot of the film, right? Because Dave Bautista's character was part of the Replicant Rebellion. He was part of the group that hid Deckard's kid and, you know, made sure that no one could find it, right? He was the one that literally birthed the child from Rachel. Like, he cut her out of her, and then buried the bones. It's very interesting because it leads Kay down this whole journey where, you know, for the first like 75% of the film, we and him go down this journey of like realizing that he is the child, but he's not the child. Like he was, we learn at the end that he was the decoy. So during their efforts to hide Deckard's real kid, they created a replicant copy, right? I don't think they just like, that's tough. I don't know, because I don't think they just made like a copy in the records. Like, I think they actually made a physical real replicant, because then his memories, like he had implanted memories from the real one, from her. And I think that was part of the design, because if anyone goes looking for the child, they're going to find him, and he has the memories from her. Like, they're realer. That'll be that, like, it has to be convincing that he is the child. And real memories are always more convincing. They work better. So yeah, so they're hiding this child, and they create Kay as the decoy, and he gets memories from her, and it's just like it's this whole journey of him he's slowly unraveling as he realizes that he is not a natural, or that it's hard to talk about the movie because the whole journey of the film is him realizing that he is a natural born replicant and not one that was created. And most of his like emotional development stems from that. But then we learn at the end that that's all wrong, right? That he is not a natural born and he was created. But that development of him, like, that still happened. So he finds his humanity by the end of the film, but it's not for the reasons he initially thought it was. Right? Him, it's the situation of like he had that barrier in front of him. You know, when he spends his whole life and career believing that he is a replicant, and you know that is constantly reinforced via the baseline test, right? Like he is continually reminded and reinforced of his non-personhood. Like his boss says, once you remove that barrier, then, you know, it's the Wild West. Like anything can happen. And so when he has that barrier, even though it's just a small little thing at first, you know, it's seeing the date that's carved on the tree. As soon as he has that barrier moved, like the structural forces that are reinforcing his non-personhood, it's gone. And then he becomes like, he slowly becomes a person, and like that consciousness develops, and it's just so interesting to watch. And then by the end, he truly becomes a person, like in its full entirety. He is a human, more human than human, because he talks to Marsha from Succession. Her name is like Frieza or something like that. He talks to her, and she says like, dying for the right cause is the most human thing you can do. And by the end of the film, that's what he does. He dies so that Deckard can meet his child. And it's just like, it's crazy, because he was supposed to kill Deckard. Like that was his task, was kill Deckard, so that his child can't be exposed. But he instead chooses to let him meet her, and it's sad. But yes, so while Kay is going on this like emotional journey of discovering himself, we also have Wallace, who is trying to find this child as well. He wants humanity to like go far beyond what we're at now. He's like Elon Musk. But like they're both insane, so it works. At this point, his work has helped humanity reach 9 different worlds, and he thinks that's not enough. He's like, we could be so much more. I could be a god, essentially. And he is like, in order for humanity to reach these great heights and expand all this way, we need more replicants. Like, we can't make them fast enough for his goals to be achieved and be like efficient enough to work. Some of his dialogue, it's like, he's like, I mean, he says some factual dialogue. He's like, throughout history, most of humanity's like biggest leaps forward in terms of like advancement have come due to expendable workforces. You know, that's an unfortunate reality of history, is a lot of the biggest advances technologically, ecologically, economically have come from someone being taken advantage of. You know, and his next line after that is like, we've lost the forgotten art of slavery or something. It's like, Jesus Christ, brother, you can't be advocating for slavery right now. That's not good. But that's essentially his whole plan, is he wants to find this kid, you know, the natural born replicant, so then he can reverse engineer the correct process for replicants to have children, so that way he can have like this endless workforce to take humanity out into the stars even farther than they have. And it's just like, that's his whole thing. And he created kind of like this knockoff Rachel for himself called Love, and she is like dedicated to the cause. Like, she's fully in it. But even her, like, she's not even like a complete replicant. Like, she has her own human tendencies and human emotions, where I think, like, pretty much based on her name, she wants love. She wants love from her creator, from Wallace. And like, she gets angry a lot, and she cries, Like, she thinks she's the best replicant. Like, I think she's mad at the whole situation, that there is something beyond her that her creator is looking for, right? Because she, like, as far as she's concerned, she's the pinnacle. She's the best of them. And, like, he literally calls her an angel. But yet he is still searching for something else and trying to make something better in his eyes. That's I think that's why she's so angry throughout the film, is, you know, he's trying to improve beyond what she is because he doesn't think she's good enough. And her line to Kay at the end, where she's like, "I'm the best one." It's like, are you that? Like, one, you're not even the best one because you just got killed by Kay, but your own creator is trying to improve beyond you. And maybe she actually believed she was the best one, because at that point, Wallace wasn't able to improve beyond her. He wasn't able to create a replicant that could have a child. You know, Tyrell was able to do it, and there's the lost art of that somehow. You know, who knows how it happened, but it happened. And yeah, it's tough. Like, there's so many angles to access, like, the concept of humanity in this film. Even Joy, even, like, the character of Joy, figuring out what her journey is, and her, like, whether or not she truly found consciousness and became, like, a real person at the end or not. Like she has this whole journey of becoming a real girl, and seems like she's a real girl to Joe, I guess we can call him. Like, they become real people to each other, and she starts to act, like, independently, but, like, there's the question of, like, was she purely following her programming, or did she actually become a real person at the end? Because her programming is like, she will become whatever you want her to become. And I think K/Joe, I think he wanted her to be a real girl. Like, he wanted her to be real, and so her programming made her be real, if that makes sense. And so there is the question, like, was the developments that she went through throughout the film, and the conclusion that she reached at the end, where she was like, "I love you," is that a product of her actually developing consciousness and being a real person? Or is that a product of, you know, pretend consciousness? Like, her programming brought that forth, but, like, she, at the end of the day, she's still a program and not a real individual. It's very curious, because even her naming him, like, we're led to believe in that initial moment when she's, like, calling him Joe, we're led to believe that this is, like, a name that she's conjured up, right? She has decided his name is Joe. And it's like the identity that he then takes on for the rest of the film is Joe. Like, he is a real guy. His name is Joe. But then when he meets her large hologram again, right before he goes to rescue Deckard, she says, you're a good Joe, or you'd be a good Joe. And so even that part is, like, it leads you to believe, okay, maybe she wasn't as real of a person as he thought she was, because even the part of his identity that she gave him and that he has claimed is something that's built into the programming. Like, it's not a real, genuine thing. Like, that, seemingly all the Joys will call someone Joe. Like, if they don't know their identity or their actual name, they'll just say their name is Joe. And so it introduces questions about, like, their relationship, how much of that was real. And it's so much to think about. And they had that whole moment where she like was inside that sex worker and they like hooked up, but that sex worker was also a replicant, so it's like, it's very, very curious. Like, it's a lot to think about, and I don't know if I have reached a definitive conclusion surrounding Joy's humanity yet. I think by the end of the film, I lean more towards the side of Joy did not reach full consciousness and was not a real person, and that was all programming. But there are elements that maybe could lead the other way, right? Like, she made the decision to be like, hey, take me off of the ceiling and put me in this stick. And he's like, you could die. And she's like, yeah, I could, like a real girl. I feel like if she was still a program at that point, maybe she wouldn't make that decision to be on the verge of death at any moment. And then her decision, like right before, when she knows she's about to die, like her final decision is to tell him that she loves him. And it's like, okay, that could be a more human decision to make. Like, I don't know. It's very muddy. So maybe I'm on the fence, maybe even leaning more towards her being a real person. I don't know. There's a lot. One thing that I'm not on the fence about is that Deckard is a replicant. I am fully confident, and this movie basically confirms it, right? So, I mean, if you watched my reaction to the first Blade Runner, I came away with the conclusion that Deckard is a replicant from that one, because his memories are implanted, right? There were moments throughout the film that made me believe that he was a replicant, right? We had, there's a moment where his eyes were glowing after they killed Leon, like after Rachel killed Leon, and they're like washing up. He walks by her and he's talking to her and his eyes glow. Like there's, his eyes glow. And he has that dream of the unicorn. And then Rachel asks him, have you ever used this test on yourself? Like, there are a lot of moments that are in that movie that are meant to like allude to that being something we should be thinking about. And then there's the moment where he has the dream about the unicorn, and then at the end of the film, his like partner, the origami guy, he puts down an origami unicorn. And the takeaway I got from that moment, I guess, I don't know how other people got something else from that. Like, I guess maybe if you only watched like the original cut, like the theatrical cut or whatever, and saw him put down that origami unicorn, the takeaway you could probably get from that is yeah, like he was here and he chose not to kill Rachel. Like, you could take that as him giving his blessing for you to escape type thing. But when you put the unicorn dream in, like that scene, it completely changes what the scene at the end means. Because then it means that somebody else is aware of what Deckard's dreams are. And it means that those dreams are implanted and that Deckard is a replicant. And now, I guess since that time, there have been questions, right? They've asked Harrison Ford about it, and Harrison Ford is like, he believes that Deckard is not a replicant, and he says he played him as such. Like, he played him as a human, which, you know, for a character that doesn't know they're a replicant, that would make sense. Like, you wouldn't play him as a replicant if the character himself does not know he's a replicant, you know? Because they're indistinguishable from humans. But the director of the film, Ridley Scott, is fully on board saying all these things were intentional. Deckard is a replicant. Like, that was his true vision of the film. You know, without all the studio interference, you know, fully being able to make the film he intended to make with the final cut, he intended for people to come away with the conclusion that Deckard is a replicant. And then I feel like this film essentially confirms it. Like, there's been questions, and now this film kind of puts that all to bed, right? There's a couple moments specifically where the biggest one is with Edward James Olmos's character in the, like, old people home. But there's some other moments where, you know, Wallace, Jared Leto's character, is talking to Deckard, and he's like, you know, what if you were designed? Like, he has come to the conclusion that Deckard is a replicant. You know, he's playing their initial meeting for him, and he is like, you know, you fell for her right away. Like, was it designed? Do you think you were designed to fall in love with her? Like, that could have been his entire purpose. Like, it introduces this idea and this concept that the entire first film, basically, or at least a large portion of the first film, was a plan by Tyrell to create replicants who could have a child. Like, that was an intentional plan by Tyrell. And maybe why he allowed himself to die at the hands of Roy Batty, because he didn't really fight back a ton. You know, he could have called security, he could have done all these things, but it kind of introduces this idea that Deckard meeting Rachel was an intentional thing, and him falling for her was an intentional thing. And, you know, that could introduce, like, a whole conspiracy of, like, were these 4 replicants escaping part of the plan? Like, you needed a reason for Deckard to come to here, like, to come to the Tyrell Corp, and you needed a reason for him to interact with Rachel, and, like, that could either mean was a larger conspiracy, or it could kind of disrupt the theory, I guess. But, you know, his conversation with Wallace in this film is, I feel like, meant to lead us to believe that Deckard was designed to meet her and designed to fall in love with her. That was an intentional choice by his creator. And I believed, because, okay, there were some elements that I talked about last time in the first one about how Deckard could be, like, a special replicant, because I've seen some people that they bring up the 4-year lifespan, and they're like, oh, like, replicants can only live 4 years. Like, he couldn't be a replicant because he's older than 4 years. And it's like, well, the replicants can live longer than 4 years. Like, the Nexus 6s had an intentional 4-year lifespan built in. Right, from their inception, they had a 4-year lifespan built in, and once they had started to age and develop, you couldn't reverse that. That doesn't necessarily mean that every single replicant that was created had that, you know, 4-year lifespan put in. So, characters like Rachel, characters like Deckard, they could be replicants that did not have that 4-year lifespan intentionally made to fit them, right? They could be replicants that had an uncapped lifespan. Now, because of those violent outbursts, the Nexus 6s, the Nexus 7s, the Nexus 8s, at least I think the 8s still had the lifespan inhibitor in there. Like, all the mainstream replicants had that intentional 4-year limit built in. But evidently, there were replicants that did not have that built in, which I assume Deckard is one, and I assume Rachel was one, because she was, like, the personal assistant to Tyrell. She was led to believe that she was a real person, and she had lived a while, right? And she lived long enough to have a child. Because the first film takes place in 2019, I think, technically, and they have a child. I mean, Rachel could still have that 4-year lifespan, because They have a child in 2021, so that's only like 2 years later. But Deckard, he would be one of those uncapped, he would be an uncapped replicant. And yeah, so there's conversations surrounding like, were you designed for this? He says a line when he's talking to Joe where he's like, we were hunted, like, and he puts an emphasis on the word we, and you could take that to mean like Rachel and I would have been hunted just because he was with her, or you could take that to mean like he identifies as replicant, right? Because he would know. But I feel like the biggest confirmation in this film that he is a replicant was the conversation with Edward James Olmos's character in the old folks' home, where he says he was not long for this world. And he's like, what do you mean by that? Why do you believe he was not long for this world? And he says, something in his eyes. That is, to me, that is full confirmation. Deckard is a replicant. Because, or at least, because you take that conversation and you couple that with the origami unicorn at the end of the first film, and you know for a fact Edward James Olmos's character knows that Deckard is a replicant. He knows for a fact. Like, even if you take just the first film, like, the fact that he knows Deckard's memories means that he knows Deckard is a replicant. And then you take this conversation in the second film where he's like, he's essentially trying to tell Joe, like, yeah, he was a replicant. Like, they talk about how they were easier to identify back in the day, and part of that was the glow in their eyes. Like, that is a thing in the first film. Every character that is a replicant in that film, whether it be the owl or any of the main four that escaped or Deckard, you see that, or even Rachel, you see that like shiny glow in their eyes. And that's why I initially thought that Jared Leto's character might also be a replicant, because I was like, oh, he's got a kind of a shiny glow. But it's just because he's blind. But yeah, Edward James Olmos's character, he's basically trying to tell Kay, or trying to tell Joe, Kay, that Deckard's a replicant, because he says it in a tone of voice of like something in his eyes, like mischievous tone. Because yeah, he knew that Deckard's a replicant. And so that is one thing that I am not on the fence about. I am fully entrenched in the camp. Deckard is a replicant. And I think that is enhanced by the overall story, like the overall plot of the movie, right? Because, you know, if you have a replicant, like if it's a situation of like a human had a baby with a replicant, I feel like that's not as magical or mysterious, because the human element of it is like what could be the determining factor of whether or not they could have a kid. But the structure and the plot of the story leads us to believe that it's not, like, it leads us to believe that this is an engineering thing that they can't figure out, right? Because if the solution was just have humans have sex with replicants, I feel like they would have tried that. Like, they would have done that already. They would have determined that's not how it happens. And he even said, I can't breed them. Like, he's tried. He's tried to have humans have sex with replicants and have babies, and it hasn't worked. So that means that the design by Tyrell was an intentional choice, with both Rachel and Deckard as replicants who could have children, and the design process was lost. And that's why it's so important for the future of replicants in general, is if two replicants can have children together, then humanity is no longer like regular humans are no longer necessary. And I think that is partly what scares so many of them and scares the cop, is like, if replicants can have children with each other, we are no longer necessary. The more human than human is a scary thing. Like, when your slaves are smarter and stronger than you and don't need you to procreate, that is a huge thing. That is a crazy, important development. And so I think the structure and plot of the overall story requires Deckard to be a replicant as well. Like, it can't just be Rachel and a regular human. It has to be two replicants for the larger implications to matter. But yeah, then I feel like there's so many things in this freaking movie to talk about. Like even Deckard's daughter, like, she doesn't know. Well, she might know. She might know that she is a replicant. I don't know. I think she is aware because she recognized her own memories. Like, she is aware that that memory was given to Kay, to Joe. I kind of want to call him Kay because I feel like the identity that he was given was not real, but then he does consider himself Joe by the end, so it's debatable. But yeah, like, I think she knows that she is a replicant, but she's never met her father, as far as I'm aware, because he was gone. I guess she's never met her mother either, because she died in childbirth. So she only knows Freza, and she knows Dave Bautista's character a little bit, maybe, because he was there. Yeah. But I think she's generally aware that she's a replicant. That's why she's so good at creating memories for other people, is because, like, she's just better. She's better than a regular human. And some of it is her own memories, right? Like, that's why she can create and imagine, is because, yeah, she's an anomaly. But yeah, the moment I was like, why is she crying about Joe's memories? And it's like, because those were her memories. And I theorized right when they interacted, I was like, what if she's the girl? Like, she looks like she could be the girl. Like, that's your twin, congratulations. And then it turned out to be true. Like, bro, like, wild stuff. I kind of hope Joe didn't actually die at the end. I think we're led to believe that he died at the end, but I'm really hoping he didn't. I'm really hoping he's still alive, and I want Denis Villeneuve to create a third film in this franchise. I know there's a show that is titled Blade Runner 2099, and I think if we're talking about the years, that takes place in the year 2099. And by that point, Harrison Ford's character will probably be dead. Maybe even the girl, she would be old. She'd be like 80. I'm curious, because this film leads us to believe that there is going to be a replicant revolution coming. Is that what 2099 is going to be about? Or might there be like a third film in this franchise that Denis Villeneuve returns to direct? Very curious about that possibility. Yeah, I don't know. This movie was really good. Like, insanely good. From a visual standpoint, Denis Villeneuve crushes it. Like, his work on this film, his work on Dune, like you could tell there are some visual similarities here, and it's insane. Like, he's so good at crafting a visual film. And the acting in this film was incredible. Like, Ryan Gosling was insane. Harrison Ford, weirdly, like, his interaction with Wallace, where he's like hearing Rachel's voice again, that's the best acting I've ever seen from Harrison Ford. Like Harrison Ford in Star Wars, like, he's a fun character and a fun guy in Indiana Jones. I haven't seen all the Indiana Joneses, but like, I feel like he doesn't put forth like acting master classes in that, at least not like emotional acting. And so this, I feel like, is the best I have ever seen him act in a film. And it's not even like a huge, massive role. Like, I thought he was going to be in the movie like throughout, but he shows up towards the end of the film. And he crushes it. Like, he did such a good job. Jared Leto's character, he was creepy and weird, which is, you know, from what I understand, very on point for Jared Leto in general, but he crushed it. Ana de Armas, she was great. She was freaking fantastic. And she's so hot. Like, insanely hot. And I feel like every other character in the film just did a bang-on job. Like, Denis Villeneuve is really good at getting these performances out of people. Even Dave Bautista, like, he was really solid in the beginning of the film. Robin Wright was excellent. And then even Love, the lady who played Love, she was fantastic. Like, that was an excellent job. So yeah, the visuals were great, the acting was great, the sound design was really solid, the action was really solid, and a lot of the questions that the movie poses is really, really engaging, and I liked it quite a bit, and I would like to see more from this universe. A lot. I want to see a lot more. Like, it's a fascinating experience where the first one really made us examine, like, what it means to be human, and, like, can a artificial non-human really kind of, at the end of the day, be more human than regular humans, like more human than human. That's the tagline. Whereas this film, we really got to witness, like, an artificial delusion. Like, we got to witness something that was parallel. So it was both a replicant discovering that they are human, like becoming human and discovering their humanity, while also it being a delusion of him believing he is something that he is not. And at the end of the day, he kind of was, because he was a direct copy. And it's a lot. It's a lot. It's so good, though. This film was incredible. I wish this film would have made more money. Like, if this film would have done better financially, I think we would have gotten a third one already. You know, when did this come out? 2017? Maybe? 2018, 2019? I don't know exactly when this film came out. But it's been at least six or 7 years since this movie came out. And I know financially in the theaters it didn't do incredible, which is a bummer. You know, the first one didn't do financially incredible either, but built this cult following. And I think if this film would have done better financially, we would have seen an end, like a trilogy. But it's possible they're not making another film, and the show is just going to have to, like, take that place. But I don't know. I'm very curious. I think that's all I have to say about this one, though. I've been recording for almost 4 hours. So I'm going to leave it there. Definitely let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. I'm very curious to see where you land on some of these philosophical questions. Again, leave all that down in the comments below. Otherwise, if you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the film and you can watch along with me. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.